It's easiest to think about Ikigai as an intersection between what do you love to do? This speaks to your passion. Second, what are you good at? To speak to your profession. Third, what does the role needs? To speak to your mission. And fourth, what can you get paid for? This speaks to your vocation. And Ikigai can serve as a compass to navigate both your career and life decision, which it seems like people crave it for more than ever right now. It makes me happy to see that. I compare this to the journey that my parents had to go through. They were not in a position where they can actually choose what they want to work on. They were in a position where they had to think about what is the most effective way to get money to put food on the table. But time has changed. Economy has gotten better. A lot of us can avoid choices. My biggest fear is that one day when I wake up when I was 45 years old, and I visualize this a lot of times, 45 years old, waking up in the bed, and I'm the executive of the company and pretty wealthy at the time in a big house, but I'm not happy on the bed. I'm not passionate about what I'm working on. I'm not passionate about the thing that I'm selling. And I would ask myself, how did I get here? How did I get it so wrong that I have all the money that I can ask for, but I'm not making an impact in the world? I'm not showing up to the people who are important in my life, and I'm not pursuing my call. I want to make sure that I'm not being tied to a golden handcuff that's being given to me. How did I find my Ikigai? I'll share some very practical ways for all of you to do. Number one, what I did was I practiced starting to talk to the 30-year-old self when I was 15 years old. And I will always ask and have this conversation with that person, also named Haley. And I asked, what can I do to make you proud? And what can I do to make you want to be excited about life? And at the time when I was 15, the things were fairly simple, right? I want to make my dad proud. I want to show my sister that we can all do it. And the last thing is, I really want to stop doing house chores. My mom would make sure that I learn how to do all of the house chores at home, because there's an expectation in where I grew up where females should know how to cook, should know how to do a house chore, and etc. And I hated it. And I was just talking to myself like, when I'm 30 years old, wouldn't it be great that I don't have to do any of that and I can outsource it? Wouldn't it be great if I can hire people to do that for me? So practice number one is practice talking to the future self. Thing that I do number two is practice visualization of success. If you ask me right now, how would my house look like, my dream house, I can tell you exactly the details of the house. Visualizing your success make you face the reality that this is actually what you really want. I've seen people where they can't visualize their future because of fear. They will stop themselves at the moment where they feel like, I think I want this, I want this, I want this, and they fear of speaking it out. They fear of making an ask. They fear of telling themselves what they actually want in life. And visualizing will help you to go through that. And so the next time when success really comes in your life, you're not surprised by your success. Some people, without visualization, they may kind of go over and the success may surprise them at different phase of their life, and they will take a step back because there's a fear of success. There's a fear of maybe they will lose this. There's a fear of this may not be permanent. Lastly, tell your story. Say it out loud. Say it to people, say it to yourself, look into the mirror. Your brain gets it. Your brain listens to what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself you want to be successful, if you tell yourself this is what you want, this is what your passion is, your brain gets it. Your body language gets it. People, the way that you communicate with people, they read it. And when you tell the story to other people, right? The other good thing about it is you automatically create the accountability for yourself from other people. A couple more things that I want to share is you don't have to force yourself to come up with the answers in one sitting. In fact, is it more productive for you to take your time as you're finding your Ikigai? Because some of you are still new to this concept. It took me literally 4 years. Look back in your life when you're a kid, when you're teenagers, when you're at an amusement park. What would make you happy? Is it time with friends? Is it time with family? Is it working on the new project? Or is it saving costs? What is it that makes you happy? Pay attention to that. So start doing that. And then also ask, what do you want to be known for? Right? If you're interacting with your friends and family, what are some adjectives that they would use to describe you? And list that down and ask, is this what I want to be known for? Or is it a different set of adjectives that you want to be known for? And how can you bridge that gap? In high school, I would go to my teachers and say, hey, I have a proposal. I don't like to do any of the homework. What if I'm able to teach you exactly what a homework attempt to tell me to learn? If I can teach you and you're happy with that, I will teach the rest of the class, and in return, I will never have to do homework. So the entire 5 years in my high school, I don't turn my homework because I started trading favors with all of my teachers, my math teachers, physics teachers. The only teachers I don't trade with was biology and history, and I hated those subjects. Yes, you can have it all. It does take practice and patience to understand what you need, who you are, and what you want. But remember, passion is power. Passion is attractive. Take advantage of that. Don't let the fear stop you.
You know, if let's say you're someone who's like a jack of all trades, master of none, how do you find what you're actually good at and where do you specialize?
Good questions. When you're deciding your next steps, what you're good at and what you love is not the only two criteria. You got to think about what does the world need and what can you get paid for, and try to maximize that pie chart, right? What does the world need is what I call anticipate the change. The reality that we're living in right now will not stay the reality in 5 or 10 years from now. The market changed, customers changed, need change, everything changes, right? An example would be, if you know me, you know that I'm extremely passionate in drone tech. Drone tech is a field of study where we want to leverage technology to help the senior people, to help with their mental health, to help with their physical health, and really solving the loneliness issues that I'm seeing from the senior people, right? But if you're the reason why I start thinking about that as a pivot into what the role needs is because there was one day I was reading a white paper that kind of shows me where the baby boomers may retire, when the baby boomers will retire, and what's the population of the people within above the age range of 65. And I already foresee 15 years from now, we will have a huge opportunity as a market to help the senior people. So people who are in retirement 15 years from now is going to need a solution. As you're thinking about what your next step should be, if you're a master of everything, think about what can you use that skill set for. Think about where the world needs you 10 years from now. Because getting a solution to be so precise and have so much impact, I believe that you need to work hard understanding the problem. So that is my advice.